Wait for my heels!
Alright, we're good.
There's still one here.
Watch this way, keys.
I love hearing Mom's voice in that giant's body.
Look at me. Why am I still alive? I have no help. Oh, I have help.
Oh, hey, hi. Good to be back. On my last two-part episode, I focused a little on my husband, who, as personalities goes, he seems to type as an INTP, and he can be a little outrageous at times. Not always, but sometimes. He likes to push the envelope, and he's not entirely conventional in his ideas. So today I thought I'd take a look at one of my personality traits. I type as a INFJ, and I don't know if all INFJs feel this way, but I have a strong desire to be supportive with everyone, but most deeply with my partner, kids, and parents. I have this kind of extreme drive to see the ones I love happy. It makes me feel good. I can't help myself. Oh, by the way, for those of you unfamiliar with the INTP, INFJ jargon, the personality stuff I'm talking about here, I recommend you go online, do a little research, type in Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and do the test. There's a test, the personality test. Take it. Let me know your personality type. Type it in the comments. The link is in the description. Just look down there.
Now, I'm not going to tell you a story per se today. Oh, that rhymes. But I want to touch on my relationship with Nafi and how my supportive nature plays a key role. I thought I could do this by comparing how my supportiveness shines in one of our favorite pastimes. We love playing games. Oh, look at that little guy. He's so cute. Dang, I love cats. So, in fact, we met on a game, but that's a story for another day. We play all kinds of games, board games and video games, and mostly video games. But we love it, and we often play these MMORPGs. That's a big acronym for massively multiplayer online. Oh, geez, what was it again? A massively multiplayer online role-playing games. That's it. And that's something we do online together, and we play these characters, and we have different roles to play, like you could play a tank or a healer or damage, that kind of thing, you know. And we get into this virtual world and we adventure together. You know, it's great. It's a great way to spend a weekend or a week. Okay, I don't recommend you spend a week. That's too much. That's not good. But we love doing this together, and we get in these games, and we solve quests and puzzles, and we strategize. Okay, mostly him strategizing, and we battle huge monsters. It's like good versus evil, and we save the day. Woohoo! We really, really enjoy it. And in real life, we don't get away very often, and we're not always in a position. So instead, we travel to this virtual world, and it helps us unwind and de-stress. And we find ourselves, transported to this magical place, and we can close off the real life problems of the world sometimes, and just get away for a few hours. I think it's healthy and rejuvenating. You know what's really cool though is that in the game, in these games, you can pick a character that is pretty extreme. Has all these superpowers and is quite fanciful. But we tend to gravitate towards familiar traits in these characters, and I think that's based on our personality.
I really do enjoy supporting my husband, and with everything from implementing projects, working on game development with him. I love working with the graphics, and we make apps together. and even becoming a sort of stenographer, so to speak, taking notes at meetings with clients, and of course healing his butt in games. I play the healer, and that allows him to be a wild and crazy guy. In the past, I have actually chosen a full damage character, like a warrior or something. Really out of character for me, but maybe it's my mood. I don't know, but for the most part, I choose a healer. Even my kids know that that I choose a healer type. Yeah, I should mention I have two sons, and they love playing games as well. And we're actually a gaming family. We've always played games together, and it's great. So in game, I choose healer, and my kids know to expect that of me. And so when we're forming a party, that's a group that like a little team, and we all work together, and we all have our own roles to play, and weaknesses and strengths and so forth. And it's fantastic. It's great family time, and I really love playing games with my kids. They expect my heals, and they get them. I'm totally fine with being in the background, doing my thing, healing, and I don't need a lot of credit, but the occasional pat on the back feels pretty good. I sometimes enjoy a pat on the back, but for the most part, I really love being the person that heals them, brings them back to life. It's awesome. So Nafi, he'll choose a damage character like a warlock or a mage, and I choose a healer type, so a priest or something. And he takes risks, a lot of risks, and that's okay, because he knows I've got his back, and he'll rush in though when I'm not expecting it, and I'll have to run and save him, but I always do last minute. It's a lot of last minutes, actually. He has these grand plans, these fantastic ideas that are almost impossible, but somehow we make them happen. We work together, and we figure it out, and we make it happen. Not to toot my own horn, but I have some pretty good ideas myself, and I love when I have a good idea and he builds on it, and it's pretty cool. So we make a great team. Oh dang, did not mean to knock that over, sorry. Hi, just a quick stop in just to ask you if you'd consider subscribing and using the bell. Oh, it makes noise, I didn't realize. And following us on social media. The links are in the description below. I'll let you get back to the story now. Thanks so much. Bye.
Alrighty, let me get into how my supportiveness assists Nafi when we play games. Giving it some thought, we seem to have a three-phase system going on here.
So the particular game example I'm going to use is WoW. That's World of Warcraft. Even if you don't play games, you've probably heard of that game. Bit of a life drainer. Kind of takes a lot of your time if you're not careful. So we don't play it that often anymore.
He's into phase one, the idea. He's exploring the game's capabilities. If anyone's going to break a game or find a glitch or something like that, it's going to be him. He has to test everything. His ideas in game and in real world can be really bizarre and kind of almost on the verge of impossible, but I guess that's why they're enticing to him, just terrifying to me. So he convinces me to follow him through this dark and scary forest, full of unknown beasts that are levels higher than us. The music sets the mood, and I'm starting to get scared. His plan is to get through this forest to get to this area of the map where there are a lot of monsters. All I know is that they're like 2 or 3 levels higher than us. He wants to take on a whole bunch of them all at once. And we have to get through this spooky forest before we even get there. So I ask myself, why in the world am I following him? But I do, because I don't want anything bad to happen. We're now in phase 2. We're in too deep. It's too late to turn back now. I followed him this far. Clearly, I'm not turning back. He turns to me and says, "Trust me." These are infamous words for him. He said it so many times before walking into the unknown with me. I begin to panic a little. I know it's just a game, but for some reason it always gets my emotions rolling high. And it just, it causes tension. And, I guess that sense of, that heightened sense of emotion, it makes it feel real. And maybe that's why I play games and love it so much. So he starts to give me the rundown. Well, here, take a look at the map and I'll explain. In this diagram, he instructs me to stand over here, and he tells me not to move. I can't get too close to the monsters. I have to stand there until he asks me to heal him. I hate waiting because, I see his health going down and I'm like panicking. All I want to do is heal him. I'm support after all. I want to support. He inches up around this side over here, and he starts to aggro the monsters. Aggro, that's kind of a gaming terminology for aggravate. So he gets their attention, and they begin to follow him, and they're kind of hitting him along the way, and he's gathering more, and he's gathering more, and they're hitting him more, and I could see his health going down, and I'm sort of biting my nails here, like ready to go. All I want to do is save him and heal him. But, I know he doesn't want me to, and he collects more, and he collects more, and I can't take it anymore. I start to inch a little bit closer. I know I shouldn't, but I do. Here I go. Oh, look at him, though. He doesn't know any better. I need to save him, so I heal. The monsters turn their attention to me, and they head my way. They get out of range from him, and unfortunately, I'm a goner. They break through my shield, and I'm toast. Then they turn their attention back on him, and he's a big squishy mess. I guess I shouldn't have healed. Okay, so I'm going to start this over again. Here's a clean map. I'll show you how it's supposed to go down. So he instructs me to stay at the same spot, and I do. I know I'm not supposed to move. I won't move. He heads towards the monsters, and he begins to collect them all over again. They're hitting him, and his health is beginning to go down. I watch that health bar get depleted, and I'm on pins and needles. I'm so ready to heal. "Don't heal," he says. "Not yet. Timing is everything," he says, as he throws out a few magic spells, and he pulls them in closer. There's so many of them. How are we going to even get through this? And then suddenly he puts himself into what's called an ice block, kind of a shield. And he's safe for a few seconds, and that's when he yells for me to heal him. And I give it all I got. I'm going one heal after another. Bang, 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 bang. And they turn their attention towards me, and they start running away from him, and they're running towards me. But that's when his ice block melts away, and he casts out a spell. And he gets their attention all over again. So now they're in between the two of us. And he throws out this spell that infects all of them. And because they're all so close together, they're all infected and they all go up in flames. It's over. We're barely in rough shape. I mean, we have full health at this point, and it's over. We did it. His plan worked. So we're standing there in the aftermath, and I am breathing heavily. I mean, that was exhilarating, and we did it. I didn't think we could, but we did. And I am just like glowing. I am so excited by this incredible experience. And, and then I suddenly look down and I see that the monsters are glowing. Oh my gosh, they're full of treasures. My best bit. I love the shinies. So I look to Nafi with excitement in my eyes, and I am squealing. Let's do this again. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, that was great. But I see his face is like zoned out. He is thinking about the next experiment. It's at this point that we hit phase 3, boredom. He's done. He did it. He did what he came to do. He got in there. He got these monsters. The experiment is over. This is when we have to compromise. I want to pursue this almost unattainable monster slaughter because ultimately it's a win-win. I gain, we get all this treasure, we go up in level, I gain new skills. Although he's not a big fan of doing it again, he will for my sake. It's about achieving that balance. I'm supportive. He's the guy spearheading this adventure. We achieve balance. Like in real life, our relationship is always in a state of back and forth, give and take. It's not always a bed of roses, by the way. We don't always meet in the middle. We've had enough time together to know that when things start to escalate, we need to stop and look at who's making the misunderstanding. At least that's usually the case. Maybe it's both of us. Maybe we just can't agree. We've been known to take out a whiteboard to calculate where the argument got out of hand. It may sound a little clinical, but it works. Better than having us pulled apart, with me hiding in a corner sulking, and him becoming this weird unemotional robot. All over something that can be dissected and understood before it gets out of hand. Maybe it's just a bad night's sleep. Sleep is so important. So I hope you enjoyed my story. Not really a story per se today. Well, I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you subscribe, and I like my stuff, and so I can make more. Now I gotta go find Naffy because I smell something burning, and I saw him going out back with a box of matches, a cup full of firecrackers, and for some weird reason, a loaf of bread. I have no idea what he's up to, but I know I have to stop it. I love his inquisitive nature. I really do. I'm not a fan of the aftermath.